Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for watching. I've got a update for you guys on this major severe weather outbreak that is possible again for the southeast. I know I haven't uploaded in a while. It's been a very busy week for me, so I was unable to update for you guys. But so I just want to talk about some things that happened while I was not uploading. So basically, as you probably know, we did have that really damaging tornado that moved through Rolling Fork, Mississippi. I think that was in Friday night. Reed Timmer was actually chasing that one while I was tracking it. So yeah, so that one unfortunately took the lives of 26 people, and it got a EF4 rating. I think that's what it was. It might not be the official rating, but I think more and more people, as I speak, are saying that it was an EF4. So a very strong, dangerous tornado went through that area. That was really sad and upsetting. So my thoughts and prayers are out for you guys out there in Rolling Fork, Mississippi. But yeah, so that's definitely pretty sad. But we do have another possible severe weather outbreak on our hands. This one is a little bit less concerning, but the hail threat is very high. So we're going to break all this down in your forecast. So as you can see, we're looking at the alerts right here. We're not looking at the current radar, but I'm just going to focus on the southeast here. So as you can see, we have the tornado watch that goes up for southeast Texas, going into central, scraping through central Louisiana, then going to southern Mississippi. This does carry on into Alabama, but this purple here, this purple pink here, this is all a severe thunderstorm watch for all of southern Alabama and then southern Mississippi in that tornado watch. But I mean, this is a very destructive storm. It's very big because almost the entire southeast is impacted. It's not as big as the one we saw on Friday night, but this one is definitely as damaging as the one we saw. So you also do have these flood watches. I think this is a flood watch that goes out for north central north central Alabama and then some of Georgia. So we're gonna watch that, and yeah, so that's pretty much it. And we're just gonna move on to the Mobile and Pensacola area. So we're gonna give the forecast for you guys now. This is basically the area that's getting hit the hardest as of now and in the next few hours. So for severe storms, so basically what we got is severe storms likely now through late tonight. We're up to an immoderate risk. I mean, this is considered a very high risk for severe weather, including Butler, Waynesboro, Grove Hill, and Greenville. So potential threats, you've got severe hail large enough to damage vehicles, 2+ inches possible. So that is extremely damaging hail. Damaging winds in excess of 60 miles an hour, that's uprooting most trees. I mean, that is actually not most trees, but many trees, I should say. But that is very dangerous, and tornadoes are possible through the late afternoon and evening hours. So meaning 1 or 2 strong tornadoes, EF2 plus, cannot be ruled out in the enhanced or moderate area. So, destructive hail and strong tornadoes are possible. The tornado threat, not too bad, but it's definitely going to be higher. Multiple rounds of severe thunderstorms are likely between now and late tonight. The highest confidence in severe weather looks to be for areas generally along northwest of I-65. So, yeah, I mean, this looks like the tornado threat and the hail threat are the highest, but you also have that wind threat too. Timing, this is expected to continue through the around 3 a.m. Monday with the strong to severe storms possible anytime during this period. But you want to be prepared. Stay weather aware. Have multiple ways of receiving warning notifications and know your safe place before you need it. So that means right now. Right now, if you're in any of these areas, you've got to make sure that you have every single idea of where you're gonna stay. If some dangerous weather hits you, and also how you're gonna be prepared. Flooding possible. It's limited. It's not too bad, but you do have higher confidence in flooding potential for the interior portions of the local areas. So like Butler, Waynesboro, Grove Hill, this hatched area here. Rip currents, we're not really going to talk about this. This would be for Florida, so you might have some pretty rough seas out there. Tonight, the temperatures, and chance of rain, you got 63 degrees here in Butler, Waynesboro at 64, Grove Hill 65. So it looking like that for the farther south you go, the higher the temperatures will be. Burnt corn, you got 65. Same thing for you guys in Grove Hill. And then kind of just farther down south, you're in 67, 68, and then up to 78 degrees. We're not going to talk about tomorrow, just so we can get through the rest of our update. But this is like the current, map for your area here. And what I'm going to be talking about here is this tornado warning that was issued just east of Brewton. So that's going to bring us to this next part of the update. So we do have a tornado warning. This is the only one in effect for now. This is until 4:45 p.m. Central Daylight Time. I'm just gonna convert my Eastern Time into Central Daylight Time. So right now it's 5:29 Eastern Time. So that means that it's 4:29 Central Daylight Time. So we still have 20 minutes left with this tornado warning. So the National Weather Service in Mobile has issued a tornado warning for southern Covington County in south central Alabama. At 4:05 p.m. Central Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 9 miles northwest of Laurel Hill, or 14 miles west of Florala, moving east at 20 miles per hour. So these are definitely more slow-moving systems, or storms, I should say, than what we saw on Friday night. This is definitely slower because on Friday night, the Rolling Fork, Mississippi tornado, that one was moving northeast at 60 miles an hour. This one's moving at 20 miles an hour. But they're still moving in that eastern direction. So, source radar indicated rotation. So, impacts. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be destroyed, or damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles will occur. Tree damage is likely. So this tornadic thunderstorm will remain over mainly rural areas of southern Covington County. So I'm actually going to get my drawing thing up here. I don't know if I can get it up, but that's alright. We don't need this for sure. Yeah, it's not working. Okay, that's alright. But take cover now. Move to a basement or interior room of the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows if you're outdoors in a mobile home or in a vehicle. Move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. So you got torrential rainfall here. This is occurring with the storm. This may lead to flash flooding. So tornado was radar indicated and max hail size. They've downgraded this to 3/4 of an inch. So this actually used to be all the way up to this used to be up to an inch and a half diameter hail. This one is now only up to 3/4 of an inch. So for this system, it's mainly for that tornado threat. But for that hail size, it shouldn't be too bad. But for the next few cells, that hail size is going to really ramp up. So we're just going to take a look at what we've got here with the radar, what we're dealing with. So if it's glitching out, that's my fault. My computer's acting up actually today. So we're starting this, I think, at let's see. Let me pause this. So this is 4:34. This is your cell that we're talking about right here. This is actually already well east of Brewton. So you guys are Brewton, Alabama. You should be done with this. I think there was some rotation that passed overhead, mainly the eastern side of the city. But right now, there's nothing much going on in Brewton. But I mean, look at all this precipitation and this rotation here. This little curviness. I know it's kind of pixely here, this kind of radar, but there is curviness within that, and that's why this is the tornado warned system. And then it continues throughout the evening hours. This would be for 4:57 Central Time, and this has made it to the northern sections of Florilla, Alabama. So I was gonna say Florida. I don't know why, but it's Florilla, Alabama. And then so this is actually Florilla right here. This is this is another part of Florilla. I think it's a very like rectangular kind of shape here. It doesn't go far north. So if I were to draw a box, which I can't, I would just just follow my mouse for a second. I would just draw a box like right here. That's basically where Florilla is. But this is definitely going to be impacting pretty quickly because you could see it rides through Florilla, and eventually this will actually maybe drop south. And if it still has any rotation with it or tornadic action, it would probably, be a little bit after 5 o'clock. So, that's pretty much it for that storm cell, and we're just gonna continue looking at the rest of these storm cells as we're going to see a very high, possible severe weather outbreak here in the next few days, or not days, next few hours, I should say. And then this one, this is south of Columbus and east of Montgomery. There is a very large hailstorm that's actually about to slam Fort Benning. So if any of you are in Fort Benning, I think I'm saying that right, Fort Benning, then you guys really gotta pay attention and be careful with this system. This is very large hail. That purple and white is that's indicating hail. There is rotation on this, so I'm just gonna tell you guys that in Fort Benning, you guys may get warned. You may get a tornado warning pop up in the next few minutes here. I think that we're gonna see some tornadic and hail action really ramp up with this system. But let me continue watching this just to track it. And it does ride through Columbus. So I'm thinking that if this does drop a tornado, this is going to move like parallel with Columbus and Fort Benning. So really pay attention to that and make sure that you are weather aware, especially for that cell in particular. So I'm actually going to take a look at the SPC risk for severe weather. And I just want to show you guys, how, oops, that was not the right thing to look at. 1 second. So I'm actually going to be just, showing you guys the risk for severe weather for today from the National Weather Service. So if I can pull this up finally, sorry about the slowness, but stay with me for a second. Okay, so you can see we've got a moderate risk up. This is indicating that we've got a very high risk for severe weather. I'm actually going to try and get this to go. Alright, here we go. So for today's outlook, you've got you're up to a moderate risk. This is a level 4 out of 5 risk. You don't see this too often, but because of this ridge in the southeast, we've been seeing so many back-to-back severe weather outbreaks here. We're already up to a moderate risk as of this morning, because this morning we actually this morning was when we got upgraded from an enhanced risk to a moderate risk for today. So moderate risk for Montgomery, Alabama, Jackson, Mississippi, Alexandria, Louisiana, Meridian, Mississippi, and Prattville, Alabama. So all of you in that vicinity, you gotta really make sure that you are weather aware of this, because we do not want another situation like what we had Friday night with that rolling fork tornado. An enhanced risk for Auburn, Alabama, Hattiesburg, Mississippi, Vicksburg, Mississippi, Clinton, Mississippi, and Opelika, Alabama. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Tornado risk, 15% risk for Montgomery, Alabama, Jackson, Mississippi, Meridian, Mississippi, Prattville, Alabama, and Clinton, Mississippi. But remember, a hatched area is 10% or greater probability of EF2 to EF5 tornadoes within 25 miles of a point. And that's a pretty big area. That includes a lot of major cities. So you really got to make sure that you are weather aware, especially because of how high this tornado risk is. Wind risk, it's pretty similar to that tornado risk. They're both at, the tornado risk is at 15% risk. The wind is at 30. So for the wind threat, it's Jackson, Mississippi, Meridian, Mississippi, Clinton, Mississippi, Pearl, Mississippi, and Ridgeland, Mississippi. You guys are all included in this 30% risk. So on the border, like this is kind of hugging the borderline of Mississippi and Alabama. So any of you on this borderline, this southern borderline here, that's where that damaging wind threat is going to be highest. Hail threat, we're up to a 45% chance. This is a very high risk. You don't see this often. You see this like a few times each year. And this means very damaging hail. So 45% risk for damaging hail for Jackson, Mississippi, Alexandria, Louisiana, Meridian, Mississippi, Clinton, Mississippi, and Pearl, Mississippi. So this one is a little farther east, but this hatched area means 10% or greater probability of 2-inch diameter hail or larger within 25 miles of a point. So, I mean, this is a very damaging severe weather event. Please make sure you are ready for whatever is going to come today, and please stay weather aware. So, thank you for watching this update, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.